Hi guys, this is the Crazy Demon here, and this is the 4th time I've recorded, because I keep messing it up. I'm going to, as you can see from the title, I made a Blackwing Red Dragon deck, and I'm going to name it Scarlet Blacwing. Yeah, I like that name. I like that. So, I mixed my Blackwing deck with the new structure deck, but I only had one of it. So you won't really see any consistent cards from it. And I didn't put any of the resonators or anything like that, just some non-staples in here, since I always had that problem when I was building decks back then. So, let's get into it. First, these are some staples and 3-ofs. I go by how many I have of each card, like most people do. But first up is Bora the Spear. I use 3. Actually, I'm pretty sure a lot of people use 3. As you know from my other videos, go watch and like. That you can special summon most Blackwings from hand due to their effect. I'm not using any of the really new Blackwings. A lot of the old Blackwings are still in this deck, but size numbers did get cut down, and my deck list did go up to, I think, to about 45 cards. But if someone's trying to deck you out, then it's kind of helpful. So, yeah, 3 Bora the Spear. And another staple card that you would love to get in first hand. If I do a second video, or if I do it in this video, test hands, then you guys will see what I mean, how helpful this is. Next we will have Blackwing, Gale the Whirlwind. This one's just effective to, like, cut down another opponent's attack points. Since it's mixed with the Red Dragon Archfiend, that's helpful in the deck. So, yeah. Those aren't all the 3-ofs. I just grabbed them because they were starting to stack, and I didn't like it, and I didn't like doing it like that. Next, our Blackwing Hand Trap. The level 2 Chinook. An extremely helpful card, everybody. A great one. This thing has saved me more times than I can count. It sucks that it's only a quick effect when you have a Dark Synchro on the field. But with this deck, I don't think that's going to be as much of a problem as I used to find it a problem back then. So what Chinook does is, if it's your turn, you can send it to the graveyard along with 1 Blackwing Synchro Monster from your deck. From your extra deck. 1 Blackwing Synchro Monster from your extra deck. Bleh. And send it to the graveyard along with Chinook. And one of your opponent's monsters' effects will be negated, and it will lose 900, I think, attack points. Yeah. But if you have a Blackwing Synchro Monster, a Black Dark Synchro Monster on the field, then that becomes a quick hand effect. So it's a quick effect. So think of Effect Veiler, except your monster will lose 900 as well. Next, a card that everybody plays. Y'all can guess. Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom. Now, I run 3. A lot of people run 3. It's just normal to run 3. You don't have to run 3 if you don't have that many. You can use 2 and substitute it with, like, any Blackwing monster that can summon from the graveyard or send an extra deck monster to the grave, essentially. But yeah, everyone knows what Ash Blossom does. That does play Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you don't, I'm sorry, because I'm not going to explain it. Next, a card. These are the 2-ofs. That was all 3-ofs. But these are cards that I really wish I had 3 of. I wish that I had 3 of Simoon the Poison Wind. I really wish that I did, because he's extremely helpful getting Black Whirlwind out on the first turn, and by just being a level 6 non-tuner. And then the perfect, and now we're gonna have the Emblem of Wandering. Okay, the Emblem of Wandering is extremely helpful as well. That's why, that's not the reason why I only have 2 Simoon the Poison Wind. personally, you can take any card that you don't want to use in the deck that's a one of in here, you can replace with 3 Simoon and 3 Vada. That's just the number of Vada and Simoon that I had. Any one of you can replace with one of those 2. So yeah. But Vada can essentially just get either Red Dragon Archfiend out on 1 turn, which is extremely helpful, or my Blackwing Dragon out. Or I think it's only Blackwing Mom. Yeah, it's just Blackwing Dragon, but there are other ways, because I don't use a lot of level 5s in this deck, but it is easy to get there. I hope. Next, the one-ofs, Blackwing Pink Eye, the Waxing Moon. Pink Eye is one of the cards from the new sets. Let me read it. Essentially, this card can add one of your... It essentially can just add one of your Blackwings from the graveyard. Next, we have Oster, which Ben 10 reference. Oster is like all these level 4s in here, they're a target. They're targets for Raid Raptor Wing Strix. They're a target for Strix because they're level 4 synchros and such. So yeah. See, like I said, when it comes to like summoning level 4 or synchros out, that's why Boar of the Spear is so important. Because because there's not a lot of level 4s. You can also substitute a few cards in here for that free level 4 summon, but yeah. But essentially, if I use Y Strix, then I can't use its abilities, which I don't really use Oster's ability that much unless I have Blackwing the Assault Dragon out on the field already. But that's the only one Shamal. Shamal I don't think is that useful. I haven't seen it be useful, but it is a good card to just have in the graveyard and then bring back to the field in contingency if you need like a free level 8 or something. Or it can get you Blackwing Feather Whirlwind. And then we have Suteri for a free level 6 summon. Well, not a free level 6 summon, but it can go with that level 2 tuner. You can go to 6 to 8 not 6 to 8, since I really don't run any level 6s except Boar Storm here. But that's just a free Boar Storm, or you can try and go into level carrying and try and get level 8 to 10 or something like that. Since a lot of the Red Dragon Archfiend Synchro monsters need two or more tuners. Not in this deck, not in the side deck, but a lot of them. So you can switch out the side deck and extra deck. Next we have Blackwing Vayu, the Emblem of Honor. What Vayu does is it can synchro summon while it's in the graveyard. I didn't think it would be that useful of an ability, but I would like to have at least 2 or maybe even 3 of it at least in exchange for a different card like Orochi the Squall or something like that, because since a lot of cards get sent to the graveyard with the extra deck monsters that I run, it would be extremely helpful. And then we have Blackwing Orochi the Squall. What Orochi the Squall does is, okay, essentially, it's kind of like, I don't know how to compare it. You can target, so essentially, if it was used for synchro material and it was sent to the graveyard, target one monster on the field, change that target's battle position. So, you know how Red Dragon's Archfiend's effect is if you attack a so, for example, Boarstorm, his piercing ability, or how Red Dragon Archfiend destroys all defense position monsters. So now that I read that effect again, that's actually kind of helpful. So I would bump that up to a 2. And, like, take out some other cards. Because these are all one-ofs. And something that went down into a one-of, Circle the Dawn. There's not a lot of level 5s in this deck, so I just put it in here so it would be easy to synchro summon into that. But yeah, that's one of the level 5s of the deck. And, he's mainly here for just synchro summons, or powering up a synchro monster, or a Blackwing Dragon, or a Red Dragon Archfiend, if able. And finally, the last Blackwing of the deck. Well, not the last Blackwing. Cult, the Moon Shadow, again, just for powering up Blackwings. And then another tuner, since Red Dragon Archfiend loves tuners, it cannot be special summoned when this card is normal summon. You can target one level 4 or lower Blackwing monster in your graveyard, summon that target. For example, if I bring out to the field level 4 or lower, wait, give me a second. Suttery, ability of Suttery, discard, and then I can get like a free Red Dragon Synchro monster or something. And then don't get me started on all the Blackwings that are level 4 and lower, like Chinook or something like that. And then there are only 2 more Blackwings. I'll put these in the stack. First we have Chris the Crack of Dawn. I'm reading it, sorry guys. Crack of Dawn. Turn this correction up. So, essentially, it's just like, in case someone tries to freaking, I don't know, freaking Raigekis my board, I'll at least still have 1 card. And then here's a combo here. Zephyros the Elite, if it gets Raigeki'd, return Crack of Dawn to my hand, special summon Dawn, because I would have normal summoned him. And then link up into Y-Strix. Also, sorry if y'all wanted to read the cards for yourselves there. Here you go. I'm sorry I did that a little fast. I'm still getting used to having my camera angles like this, and I just figured out how I can make it so y'all can actually read the cards yourselves. And now for the monsters that aren't, and that came from the Jack set. I mainly just took the spells and traps that were from the set, from the Red Dragon Archfiend deck. But once I get more of them, you'll start seeing these as like 2-ofs, 3-ofs, and such. So, for example, the Magical King Moonstar, a really good card, since it doesn't specify like a fiend. It cannot be used as synchro material except for synchros of a dark synchro monster. If you control a tuner, you can special summon this card from your hand. If the card is normal summoned, you can target one other face-up monster you control or in your graveyard until the end of this turn. That card's level becomes the same as that monster's. Also, I can special summon except synchro. Except by synchro. So for that exact reason, this card is just good. I would bump it up to a 3 if I could, but I can't. Sorry. Next, we have Dawnwalker and Ascator. This is essentially just a free level 8 summon, basically. Also, sorry again. A free level 8 summon. That's all I use these for. And now to the spells. How much time have we been going on for? I don't know, and I'm sorry if this is a long video. So we're just gonna speed through this. Black Whirlwind, basic card. If I summon a summon a Blackwing, I can add one that has less attack points from deck to hand. Black Feather Whirlwind, which lets me not do the same exact thing, but what it does, it lets me summon a Blackwing Synchro Monster, or any Synchro Monster from my extra deck if one dies, I think. Then, the one-ofs, Called by the Grave for Ash, Cosmic Cyclone for, like, Labyrinth or things like that, Raigeki just in case. Then the Red Eyes cards, Burning Soul and Absolute Power Force. I can target one red dragon, Archfiend you control. If that monster you control spells an opponent's monster this turn, apply these effects until the end of the damage step. It gains 1,000. Your opponent cannot activate. If your opponent cannot activate cards or effects. If it attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent. Any battle damage your opponent takes from that battle is doubled. And then there's Burning Soul. If you control level 8 or higher Synchroma, or add one card from your graveyard to your hand, except Burning Soul, then immediately after this effect resolves, using monsters you control this much for the rest of this turn, this card was your opponent cannot target Synchro monsters on the field with card effects. You can only activate one Burning Soul once per turn. I want this to be a 2-of, and this is fine as a 1-of, but maybe a 2 or 3-of for Burning Soul, since it's so helpful. It's a per turn effect, so it might be side decked for like a 2 or a 1-of. And now the good traps, the trappy boys. 2 infinite impermanents, because that's all I had. 2 Blackwing Twin Shadow, since its usefulness for graveyard effects. Then King Synchro, because this is helpful. And then Red Rain. What Red Rain does is that it does, if you control a level 8 or higher Synchro monster, banish all monsters on the field except the monsters with the highest level. Also, the running face-up monsters on the field are unaffected by other card effects except their own until the end of this turn. If a Dark Dragon Synchro monster is Synchro summoned to your field while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only activate the effect of Red Rain once per turn. King Synchro, when your opponent's monster clears an attack, a Synchro monster you control negate the attack, then you can apply the rest to the... In the test hand deck, I'll say what that does. Next up is the extra deck. We're gonna start with the Blackwing monsters, of course, since you can see that they are the main stars. The extra deck, I promise you, is actually mostly Red Dragon Archfiend stuff and how you can power climb. But it's mostly just the staples from my old deck. So first, obviously, 1 Blackwing Dragon. 1 Blackwing Assault Dragon. Would rather have 2. 1 Blackwing Full Armor Master. 2 Assault Blackwing Shidori. 2 of them. And then 2 Boarstorm, the Wicked Wind. So, pretty standard. It's everything I need for, like, the Blackwing part. Oh, yeah, and 1 Assault Blackwing Soheya the Rainstorm. I want to change the extra deck and change out Chidori for something, but that will be another video. So I guess you'll just have to tune in. Of course, one Red Dragon Archfiend, one Scarred Dragon Archfiend, a new card. Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend, and Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, the Abyss. And finally, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, King Calamity. This is the boss. This is the twin to freaking Assault Blackwing. These two are twins, bruh. Like, this is the only reason why I made this deck in the first place, bruh. And the cards, they work extremely well together, I will say. And then for Link monsters, we use one Raid Raptor Y Strix and Borderland Dragon just because of the power scaling and how it's a brick wall that can protect us. And for the side deck, one Blackwing Tamer Obsidian Joe, Fantastical Imaginary Drag, Fantastical Phantasmi Dragon, Dragon Phantasmi, Allure of Darkness, Black Shadow Squall, Red Nova, Blackwing Steam the Cloak, one of all of these, Blackwing Breeze the Zephyr, Blackwing Mistral the Silver Shield, one Red Resonator, Assault Blackwing King the Drizzle, Blackwing Twin Shadow, two Dark Ruler No More, one Blackwing Zephyros the Elite, and one Blackwing Full Armor Master. Okay guys, tell me what you thought of the deck. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye!